Hey, this is Def from Tiny Enormous, and it's What's Happening Wednesday. Couple things this week. I saw Cory Wong live. It was the last show of the tour. It was absolutely amazing. As a Twin Cities-based guitarist, I think I have to love Cory, but as a musician and as a human being, I just adore what he does. And so much really good energy and a really wonderful mix of people in the crowd. Like, I really saw a lot of different people there, and everyone was just having fun and enjoying themselves. He does a great job of radiating positivity through music, and if you get a chance to see him live, it is incredibly fun. Other than that, I had a road trip across the top of the U.S., the northern coast. I do this a lot. My family lives in Pennsylvania, so I drive back and forth. This is my last road trip of the year. I listen to the radio a lot when I'm on the road. And I know a lot of people don't listen to the radio anymore, but I still love listening to the radio when I'm taking a long trip. And like I said, I've made this trip I think 6-7 times this year, so I listen to a lot of radio, and I always pick up on a couple patterns. And it's really interesting how like you can still hear like the Casey Kasem Top 100 on the radio. I thought that had stopped 40 years ago, but it's still being broadcast out over the airwaves. That was kind of interesting. A few things that I picked up is that we all agree that Hozier is awesome. I heard Hozier, was it Too Sweet? This is the new single. I heard that on every kind of station. I heard it on contemporary stations, hit stations, alternative stations. It's really cool because he does seem like a really, really great artist and has a super unique sound and voice, but doesn't seem to be really pushing it out too much so that we're getting sick of him. And when I thought about it, his Take Me to Church hit was easily 12, 14 years ago or something like that. I should look that up. But yeah, a couple other things. I only heard Prince twice on this road trip. There's I heard Bryan Adams Run to You 3 times, which I thought was just wild. There's one band that I always hear every time. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you can always find Journey on the radio at some point, within 10 minutes at any point in time. And there was a moment where I was scrolling through, I think I was outside of Milwaukee, and it was 3 straight stations of Journey. Like, the residuals they're making off of those songs must be ridiculous. Other than that, I was really disappointed I didn't hear Santana once. Usually I'll pick up Santana somewhere on one of the classic rock stations. And I think that it's really interesting. Santana had this resurgence in the early aughts, and people don't think of him. A lot of people think of him more as like an aughts pop act than they do a classic rock act in terms of what format to play, which I thought was really, really interesting. I also didn't hear any Pink Floyd on the radio this time, which was really kind of a bummer. But other than that, I did pick up on a couple really cool college stations. One was just playing like deep dub reggaeton for like the 20 minutes that I had it. It's like all it was doing. It might even been a DJ live doing it, but that was a nice pickup in like kind of nowhere, Illinois. And then there was one other station where I heard The Urge. They played The Urge, and that absolutely blew my mind. I was not expecting to hear The Urge on the radio, but yeah, it was really a blast from the past. If you didn't get into The Urge in the 90s, check them out. It's pretty apparent that they were pretty ahead of their time, and a great like kind of underground artsy band, I guess. I'll put a link in the description of something from The Urge. But yeah, it's really interesting listening to the radio. It has changed a lot in the 20 years that I've been driving around the country. I'll put a map up of like the road trips that I've done moving from city to city around the U.S. Because I always listen to the radio all the time when I'm driving, and it really has changed a lot in the last 20 years. But yeah, if you listen to the radio, let me know what you think. I'm really lucky because I live in the Twin Cities. We got some great radio stations here. Jazz 88 is a great station. The Current is an amazing station. You know, like if I want my Godsmack fix, which I do often, I listen to 93X. You know, there's a bunch of that's another thing, is that every single Nothing But Rock station is called The X across the North Coast, from Minnesota to Pennsylvania and back. It's like every single town has a place called, it's like like there's Jack FM everywhere, and that's a big chain. There's the X everywhere, but they're all local. It's really interesting. They're all very much like, Nickelback, Godsmack rotation. So yeah, it's really, that was another interesting like subculture of the country that I think came out. All of their morning shows all sound the exact same too. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Cheers. Have a great Thanksgiving.